Thank you so much for coming back and watching this week with us. Today I have a really fun video on how we are going to make our very own kind of roller coaster design in art. So make sure you see that in the next few clips. But as usual, we have to do 2 questions because it is like camp opening. So my first question that I have for this week is, what is your favorite roller coaster? And I hope this counts as a roller coaster, but I'm a really big Disneyland fan, and my favorite roller coaster there probably would have to be the Matterhorn. I used to not really like roller coasters when I was little, but this is one of the first roller coasters that I really liked going on. I think it's fun. It kind of shares a story. It's in a fun place. So yeah. And my second question is, do you like roller coasters or slower rides better? And it kind of depends on the mood that I'm in. If I'm at like Great America, I really like going on the faster rides, but if I'm at Disneyland, I kind of like some of the slower rides like Pirates of the Caribbean or the Haunted Mansion. Those are definitely my top 2 favorites. So yeah, let's get started.
Okay, so for this activity, you will be needing a lot of paper. The first piece of paper I am using is a brown piece of construction paper, and then I will also be using a piece of blank printer paper. You can use any colored paper for this activity as well, and you can also color onto paper if you don't have colored construction paper. You also need scissors for this activity, and some glue or tape or even a stapler if that's what you have, and then something to draw with. So starting with this activity, we are taking our piece of brown paper, and I'm using a pencil to draw an outline of what a roller coaster looks like the down slope of it, and then you will cut that piece out just like that. Here's my finished product, and then to make our little roller coaster design, I'm going to be cutting little slits into the paper, so just make sure you fold over the brown piece of construction paper, and then you're only cutting slits. You're not cutting all the way to the end of the paper, just right above. So here I go with that. And then, as you might be able to tell, we are going to be weaving with paper for this activity, so you will need some sort of construction paper, strips of paper. If you don't have construction paper, you can use plain printer paper, and if you want different colors, you can draw on them with your coloring materials. And here I am, I just picked out 3 different colors to kind of cut into different strips for this activity. So even though I already cut slits into one side of the roller coaster, I'm folding over another piece and cutting smaller slits as well for our paper weaving. And now that we have cut all the slits into our paper, we are going to start paper weaving with our little strips of paper. And so you want to go over, under with your colored piece of paper, and then make sure you take your time with this. I know it can get really frustrating. I moved all of my strips all the way down to the bottom. Again, just take your time, try not to get super frustrated with this. I definitely got frustrated while I was doing this because it takes a lot of work and concentration to do so. So yeah, here I go. I also, if you have too thick of a piece of paper, go ahead and cut it in half like I did here, and then just keep weaving. And then after I finished weaving all of my pieces of construction paper into the roller coaster to kind of create that wooden design, we're just going to take a glue stick or tape or a stapler even, just to stick the piece of brown construction paper onto our plain printer paper, or again, if you have a different color piece of paper for that, using that as well. And then here I am just cutting off kind of the excess of my paper strips on my roller coaster. For this next part, I just used a piece of red construction paper and cut a small rectangle out and used my glue stick to stick it onto my paper. You can put this little cart on whatever part of the roller coaster that you want, and then I added stick figures. You can draw your friends on here if you want to draw like their little bodies and then glue on actual pictures of your friends on here as well. That is okay. Give a name to your ride too. I just put down SKC and then I decorated the background. You don't have to have just a sky in the background. You can draw different parts of a carnival or a fair that you might see as well. And this is my finished product.
Thank you so much for watching today's video with me. I hope you had so much fun putting together our little roller coasters. I know it definitely can be a little frustrating. It can take some time because I know I got a little frustrated while doing this activity. Just thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you guys will come back tomorrow